Imagine talking to your Telegram bot just like you talk to Siri. You send a voice note and it replies back with AI-powered intelligence. Today we're building exactly that.
I'm just a bot, but I'm here and ready to help. How can I assist you today?
So the first step is to create a new project in PyCharm. So I've already created a project called Python Telegram Voice Bot. And this project contains two different files. One of them is called bot.py and then the other one is called keys.py. So we're going to start by looking at the file which is bot.py. So what you need to do is you need to install three different libraries. So Python Telegram bot, OpenAI, and then we need to install pydub as well. So you can see here in the terminal, I've installed pydub. So once you have installed all the required dependencies, then it's time to start writing the actual code. So we import a bunch of libraries that will be needed in the script. So we import os.path, unique ID, then from pydub we import audio segment, and from Python Telegram bot we import application builder, message handler, command handler, filters. And then from OpenAI, we import OpenAI. And then from the keys module, we import our Telegram bot token and the OpenAI API key. So if you haven't watched one of my previous videos, then I would suggest you go and watch this because it explains in great detail how to generate a Telegram bot token and how to generate your OpenAI API key. So I'm going to add a link somewhere on the screen so you can go and watch this. So once we have added all the necessary imports, then the next step is to create our OpenAI client by passing our OpenAI API key. The next step is to define our main function. So the main function, what we do here is we create an application builder and then we pass the Telegram bot token and finally we call the function build. After this, we're adding two message handlers. So the first one is actually a command handler that processes the start command. And then the second handler is a message handler, which takes this chat function. So first, we're going to look at this start function. So the start function is very simple and very straightforward. So whenever someone starts a new conversation with our Telegram bot, this is the message that will be sent to our users. And then you can see that the chat function is just underneath this one. So the chat function is a little bit more complicated. So what we do in here is we extract the text message from the update object. And then if we have any text, then what we do is we basically generate an AI reply for the message that we received from one of our users. And then we send the reply back. So if we quickly look at generate AI reply, so what this does is it takes the user message as an input and then it sends a command to OpenAI. So what we do in here is basically we call the client, which is the OpenAI client. Then we create a new completions object and we use GPT-4o mini as the model. And then we pass two different messages. The first message is the system prompt. And then in here, we're saying you're a friendly Telegram assistant. Keep your responses to maximum 100 characters. And then the second message is the user message where we pass the user message itself. And then we send this to OpenAI and we retrieve the response. So once we have the response, then we just send that back to our user. And then there is another condition, which is basically trying to extract any voice file. So if a user has sent a voice message to us, then what happens is we process this file, we extract it, and then if we have such a file, what we do in here is we're saving it into a folder called audio. So you can see in my project, I've created a folder called audio. And this is where we store all the audio files that come from each individual user. So once we have the file path, then what we do is we say file.download to drive, and then we pass this file path. So what this is going to do is it's going to save the actual file to our audio folder on our computer. And once we have this audio file, then we can use it to basically send it to Whisper, which is a model provided by OpenAI that's going to transcribe it. And then we're going to generate a reply and send that to our user. So what we do next is we convert this file to MP3 file. So at the moment, what happens is when we download a voice message from Telegram, it has this OGA format. And this OGA format is not supported by OpenAI. And that's the reason why on line 73, we need to convert this OGA file into an MP3 file. And this is how it works. So we use the audio segment from pydub, and we basically extract the audio. And what we do next is we create a file name which has mp3 extension. And after this, we call this audio object and we export that, and we say that the format of the exported file should be mp3. And finally, we return this path to the mp3 file. So once we have the MP3 file, now it's time to actually send that to OpenAI. And how this works is we've defined this function called transcribe audio file. And this is very simple. So what happens is we just read the bytes of this audio file and we send that to OpenAI. So again, we call the client and then we create an audio transcription object. We use the model GPT-4o mini transcribe, and then we pass the actual bytes from the audio file. And once this finishes, it's going to return the text behind the transcription. So once we have the text that the user has said during their voice message, what we do next is again we generate an AI reply using this transcription, and then you have two different options. So since this is a voice message, you can either respond to your users with a text message, or you can create a voice message and then you can reply with that. So it's really up to you. So you can basically send a text message as well as a voice message, or you can just send a text message or just a voice message. So it's just a matter of your personal preference. So that's why I've listed the options in here, and then I've commented out option one, which is basically replying with a text message. So in this case, we want to actually reply with a voice message. So once we have this reply from OpenAI, what we need to do is we need to convert this text to speech, because what we have so far is just text. So we define this function, which is convert text to speech. And what this does is it's calling OpenAI again, and then it's calling this audio speech library. And then we pass this model, which is GPT-4o mini text to speech. And we use this voice, which is Alloy, and we pass the text, which needs to be said during this text to speech translation. And after this, we create a unique ID for this reply. And we say, okay, the output file should be saved in our audio folder. And then this is the name of the file. And what we do next is we just write all the bytes to this object, to this file. And finally, we return the file. So I'm going to show you all the different voices and how you can choose what voice you want for your text-to-speech translation. So if you go to platform.openai.com and then you head over to the documentation section, and after this you click on text to speech, then you will see in great details how you can create like text to speech translation, and this is similar to what we're using in the code. So you can see that the example voice in here is also Alloy, so you can play this and see how it sounds.
The sun rises in the east and sets in the west. This simple fact has been observed by humans for thousands of years.
If you want to use any other voice, you can just scroll down a little bit and you can see there is a section called voice options, and there is another website which is called openai.fm. And if you go to this website, you can see all the different voices are listed here in one row. And yeah, the first one is Alloy, then there's a bunch of other options. And yeah, you can click on the play button and yeah, you can hear how it sounds.
What's up, sports fans?
So once you have chosen a voice, then what you need to do is you just need to replace this string with the name of the voice that you've chosen. So at this point, we have generated our text to speech translation and we've saved that into an MP3 file. And finally, it's time to actually send a message back to our user. And then in this case, we use update.message.reply voice. And then we pass the actual MP3 file, and this will be sent to our user, and then they can listen to this voice message and yeah, they will see what's going on. So something important that you need to be aware of is basically in order to run this library, which is pydub, what you need to do is you need to download an ffmpeg package, which you're going to find on this website. So this is the website that you need to go to, and from here what you need to do is you need to click on download, and then you need to choose the platform that you're using. So I'm using Mac OS, so what I did was I clicked on this icon and then I went on to basically this website and then I downloaded one of the packages. So what this contains is it contains a program that you need to put in your bin folder in your PyCharm project. So once you have downloaded the ffmpeg package, what you need to do is you need to go back to PyCharm and then you need to find your virtual environment. After this, you go to the bin folder and then you put the ffmpeg package in here. So what happens is at runtime, pydub is basically referring to this package since it uses that to do the file conversion from one file type to another. And this is very important. And if you basically skip this step, then pydub is going to say, oh, you don't have ffmpeg on your computer, so I cannot do the conversion. At this point, we have everything that we need in order to run our Telegram bot. So what we need to do is we just need to run this Python application. The application is up and running now, and the next step is to go back to Telegram and start a conversation with our Telegram bot. So this is our Telegram bot, and what we need to do is we need to click on this button, which is start. So what this is going to do is it's going to send the start command to our bot, and now our bot should reply with a message. So there you go. So this is the starting message which the bot is going to send to everyone who starts a conversation with our chatbot. And now we have two options. We can either send a text message to our chatbot or we can record a voice message and send that. So I'm going to start by sending a text message and I will say, hi, how are you? And I will send that to our bot and let's see how it replies. So there you go. Hi there, I'm just a program, but I'm here to help you. How can I assist you today? Okay, so we can see that this is connected to OpenAI, and if you send a text message, it replies with a text message back. And now what we're going to do is we're going to click on this microphone button and we're going to send a voice message. And once this is processed, we're going to get a voice message back as a response. Who is the President of the United States? So I sent this voice message to our Telegram bot. So let's see how it replies back to us. So there you go. It sent a voice message.
The current president is Joe Biden.
So since OpenAI is a bit behind, so it's not running with the latest news and the latest information, it still thinks that the current president is Joe Biden. But you can ask it any other question. So let's see, what's the biggest country in the world? So let's see how it replies to this question.
Russia is the biggest country in the world by land area.
Yeah, there you go. So you can see how quick this bot is. So you send a voice message and it literally replies back to you in a few seconds. So there is no delay, there is no wait time. If you found this video useful, please like it and subscribe to the channel. If you want to get the code behind this video, you can join my school community. The link should be down below in the description. It's completely free to join and you don't need to pay anything. Thank you very much for your time and see you in the next video.